Tonight on Sky Rugby Club, we highlight our favourite moments from the Tokyo Olympics. Magpies captain Ash Dixon takes flight and joins Japanese rugby. And young Will Jordan joins us from inside the All Blacks camp. Kia ora and welcome into the Sky Rugby Club. We are back after a couple of weeks with the Olympics. We hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as we all did. Now the team's all here with Joey Wheeler, Christina Sue and Israel Dagg. Welcome along. Now there was plenty of moments we were on the edge of our seat, but Joey, what was one of your favourite moments?
That we were on the edge of our seat the whole time. It was brilliant. Brilliant Olympics. No one thought it was going to go ahead, but it did. For me, there was only one person. That was Guns McGee, Lisa Hick. The GOAT! She was just phenomenal. Like, medals galore. Like, she didn't need excess baggage to bring those bad boys back through to New Zealand, but she was just phenomenal. But what I actually loved about her the most was the way she interacted with the media over there. Obviously no fans, but gave us an insight into her journey, 5 years to get there. And what an amazing person. Not only an amazing athlete, just a brilliant person. For you, Suey, please.
I agree. Lisa Carrington is the GOAT, but I love seeing Simone Biles go back on the beam after all the, resilience that she showed, and just her ability to do a pistol squat and then twist,
What's a pistol squat?
One-legged, they can go down on the one leg. Man, phenomenal athlete.
Show us.
Mate, I only just started training. Just trying on body weight squats, let alone a pistol squat, mate. What about you, Izzy?
Mine's got to be a bit of a funny one, or a family thing. Daisy's a horse rider, so I had to go to the equestrian. I started watching.
Really? Can't punt on those though, mate.
I know you can't punt on them, but mate, look at these horses. They're so
beautiful.
amazing with how they can do it, especially the dressage, your ability to do that, and then they go into this cross country, 38 degrees, running around Tokyo, jumping, jumps, going into creeks and everything like that. Unbelievable animals, and I was really, really impressed with the equestrian.
Nice.
Sounds like you're going to get a couple of horses down at your new place down
No,
south.
they're too expensive.
Yeah. Well, my favourite moment was Hayden Wild with the bronze medal that he got in the men's triathlon. What an outstanding effort. And as well as Blackfern Sevens, can't look past it. I swear I couldn't get closer to the TV if I tried. Now, we're joined by the Golden Girl herself, Stacey Fluhler, tonight. Kia ora, Stacey. Thanks for joining us. Now, you're an MIQ and you're still wearing a smile, but was it the dream performance that you dreamed of at Tokyo 2020?
Kia ora, girl. Kia ora. You're my favourite, actually, because you're the only one who mentioned Blackfern Sevens was your favourite. So sorry, other three. You're not high on my list right now. Should have been the first thing you said. No jokes. It wasn't the dream performance. We weren't perfect at all, and I know you all must admit it, watching some of those close games. But we did what we had to do. We made some mistakes here and there, but we made the moments count when it really mattered.
Hey, Stace, is it what next for you? Obviously, you've won the gold medal. You get out of isolation, MIQ, in a few days. What are you going to get up to when you get out?
Great question, Digger.
Well, got a few plans up my sleeve. Go and spend some time with family and friends, of course. So shout out to everyone in Ruatoki. Can't wait for those celebrations. A holiday planned with hubby. We're off to Raro, which is exciting. Have to celebrate there because we haven't actually had a honeymoon before. But I am, you heard it here first, I have put my hand up to make the switch over to 15, so you might see me
exclusive
15 jersey this year.
Yes!
Hey, Sissy, glad that you are going over to 15s. I think you've been, what are they naming you? The Immortal? You've won every single silverware that's possible. And I do apologise. My favourite moment is, of course, you winning the Blackfern Sisters winning the gold, but it was a special moment seeing Simone Biles back on back on the beam. My question to you is, and it wasn't an easy Olympics, right? You had some really high-pressured moments from coming back 21-0 against GB and then going to overtime in a semi. My question to you is, what are your strategies to deal with pressure?
I honestly just think we have so much belief and trust in our team, and when it gets to those moments, those critical moments, you look around the circle and you see everyone's faces, especially Gossie, and I know you've seen that look before, Sui. You just know that you need to give more. And we need to change things up because things weren't going right. But the ability to cope with pressure, we see pressure more so as an opportunity, and we know when we get into those spaces, we don't stress, we stay calm, we stay composed, and then we flip the switch back to focusing on our core role and our game plan, because when it gets a little bit messy, we kind of go off guard and we start playing like other teams or other players, and that's when we know it's not right. So just getting that look from our teammates, we know, okay, we need to sharpen up here, we need to get our act together, and I think we pulled through, especially in that semi against Fiji.
Genesis, just a question around the village. Obviously, a completely different Olympics to what we're used to seeing, but did you have any sort of fangirl moments where you saw some of these phenomenal athletes from other countries and were managed to get a sort of a selfie or anything with them?
Yeah, that was kind of the dumb thing, Joey. I didn't. First of all, we weren't allowed to mix and mingle with any other athletes. You had to keep at a 2-metre distance. But because we were constantly wearing a face mask, you couldn't even notice anyone. Well, I don't know, I couldn't. You could only see eyes, and I didn't really notice anyone. So no, unfortunately not, which is kind of sad, because that's kind of the cool thing about the games, and you want to experience seeing all these other amazing, talented athletes. But yeah, short answer, no, but hopefully next time, because I'll be gunning for Paris in 3 more years.
Yeah. Hey, can you give us a close-up of that gold medal, please, just in the camera?
Oh, sure.
A real close-up. Look at that,
Yeah.
boy. Yeah, good.
Like, it's beautiful. It's heavy, very shiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll bring it in. We'll bring it into studio next time.
Oh, look forward to it. Well done.
Stace.
Great work, Stace.
Thanks, Stace, for joining us, and congratulations once again. You made New Zealand incredibly proud.
Oh,
Well, you have lost it. But moving on to some recent news, I think there's some tuning out of the Highlanders camp, Joey.
Yeah, there is, mate. Yeah, so Ash Dixon has made the announcement today that he's heading over to fill his pockets with yen. So the man, I think he deserves this.
Yeah,
for me, 32 years of age. He's been around for a long time. He's played, I think, 100 caps, over 100 caps for Hawke's Bay, 100 caps for the Highlanders, and I think he's the most capped Māori All Black of all time as well. So he's done everything he can in New Zealand rugby, bar being an All Black. And he deserves this opportunity, him and his family. Izzy, you've played a lot of rugby with him at Hawke's Bay, and you've been in a lot of age group teams. Here's a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve and does everything he can. He probably does deserve this opportunity to head abroad.
Well, that's a bit of cheek coming from someone that's actually filled both pockets with yen over the last 2 years. But no, you're right, Joey. You're 100% right. This is a guy that's done everything for New Zealand rugby, and that's why I want to get him on. I want to chat to him if that higher honours was always in the picture going to the All Blacks, and he deserves this, to go over there, potentially set up his family for a better future, set himself up financially and get a taste of the world, because he's only ever been in New Zealand, Hawke's Bay to Dunedin. He's got a bit of the world to go see. I'm not saying anything bad about Dunedin or Hawke's Bay.
One question, if he had got, Coles and Amua were injured, if he had got that All Blacks call-up, do you think this decision would have happened?
No, 100% not.
Should he have been there?
In
your opinion?
Yes, in my opinion, I think he should have been there a long time ago, to be honest. There's been times he's been playing outstanding for the last couple of years. His line-out throws are always about 98%, never misses the spot, scores unbelievable tries, his work around the park. He's great over the ball, jackling. I don't see any reason for me why he's never been picked. I'd love to ask, the Mike Crons and co if they ever saw the potential in him, because I think it's a valid talking point.
And a great leader as well. Well, I went down to Hawke's Bay this week to catch up with a few of his Hawke's Bay teammates who, sent him off in, I guess, a kind of a nice way with some well wishes.
Dicko, all the best for going to Japan, and congratulations, obviously. We're stoked for you, the Magpies and everyone here.
I met you when you were just a young pup down here getting in a bit of trouble. Then I went overseas and I've come back, and, mate, you've turned into a hell of a footy player, hell of a leader. So, mate, all the best.
You've played 100 games. Not many people do that in the modern era for their province. So you've been a loyal man to this union, and they can stop calling you T-Rex now for deep pockets, short arms.
all the best for Japan. You know, you're one of the best mentors a young fella could ask for. I know you love your money, so good luck counting your yen and piss off and let the boys play some game time, bro. Check.
Cheers for your service to the Bay, mate. You've been a stalwart for this province. With you off now, we might be able to share the try scoring around it and get our tally up a little bit, mate.
I don't know who's going to get me out of my pre-season Broncos now, but maybe I might have to hit up Future about that, but we'll see.
You'll heavily be missed here in down Dunedin. Just the one thing I won't miss is the same inspirational speech you give here into the Landers boys.
Probably one of my favourite memories with you would be when we won the Shield down in Dunners. We definitely enjoyed our night, but Ash had a bit too much to drink and we were at the airport and the pilot had walked past and he said, no mate, you're actually not allowed on the flight, you're too pissed. So whatever you do over there, just make sure that you make the flight, please.
Back when I was a young fella a couple of years ago, we had captain's run and I saw a bit of space to run. Next thing, Dicko goes, kick the bloody ball, Tian. Kind of had a little blow up and I see Dicko walking from one side of the field to the other and out the changing room and into his car and off he goes. Captain's run just did into a wee run without the captain there and we saw him at the game the next day and got into our work.
Might be a good thing that you're leaving, mate. Might get a few balls off the back of the maul instead of you scoring all the tries.
You've been a good man for Hawke's Bay, and a good leader as well. Just hope you don't get kicked off your flight on the way over.
Not sure if I'm happy or sad that you're leaving now that I know I won't be getting any more growlings from you.
And I guess now I get to coach the lineouts finally. Ellie's gone, Bama's gone, you've gone, so I get a chance to coach something.
All the best on behalf of myself and the coaching team and the Magpies. And moving forward, it's going to be good. For the budget, we'll release a fair bit of salary cap and potentially get 3 or 4 new players. But in all seriousness, mate, you're a great leader, top man. Be sorely missed. Wish you all the best, and I'm sure it'll go well. Beauty, mate. Thanks.
Well, I'm sure Ash will be sorely missed from both camps, the Magpies and the Highlanders. But let's talk the All Blacks. They get their second test underway very shortly. Eden Park, another game there. But I'm sure that there's some areas that they probably want to clean up. They're busy.
Oh, 100%. There's middle parts of that game where they'll be very happy, obviously getting out to 33-8. But then that's the one I want to chat about, that last 12 minutes, you know, where it really fell away. And that first 20 as well, they spoke about they probably overplayed it at the start. They were very lateral with their attack. They didn't earn the right to go wide. So this week I'd love to see them go through the middle a bit more, and then earn the right and open up the space on the wide and the edges. And also this week I want to see them kick contestables. I want to see them put pressure on Callaway, Korobiti and Tom Banks. Put some pressure on those back three and see how that ends up in the end.
Oh, it'll be interesting to see what they do. And selection's a big thing for this Bledisloe too. They haven't really changed much from Bledisloe 1, which isn't really a surprise. The forward pack stays the same, which I don't think surprises too many people. The only real surprising thing is Anton Leonard-Brown's out with an injury, so that forces a change with Rieko Ioane coming into that 13 jersey with Sevu Reece changing wings to the left wing, and Will Jordan, he comes in on the bench. 2 talking points here for me. Scotty Barrett, he joins the team for Patrick Tuipulotu after being ill last week. But the big one, that is TJ Perenara, after being away, filling his pockets with yen. He's back in that All Blacks side on the bench. Izzy, I'm going to take you back to that starting side, Rieko Ioane in that 13 jersey. Do you like this selection alongside your boy Davey Havili? Obviously, he's impressed, but Rieko there?
They had limited options there with injuries to Braden Ennor and Anton Leonard-Brown, so they had to go Rieko. Look, to be honest, if Rieko brings in a different dimension to his game, I know he's got out-and-out gas and his ability to get around players. What I want to see is this week I want to see him hitting inside shoulders off David Havili, hitting that inside shoulder, and that will create options for him to get on the outside. Now I feel like defenders have noticed that he's going to go outside, so they're starting on the outside shoulder of his attack, and he's up against a Hunter Paisami, and we saw how brutal he is on defence. So if he opens up those 2 dimensions, I think he'll be a lot better.
Defensively, do you think he's good enough in that position, Sui? What are your thoughts on Rieko on there? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. If he gets the timing right, you saw before when he shoots from the wing and gets that timing right, he is capable of nailing them. And I think he has experience at centre now, and he was one of the informed players last week. So I think it's a good change.
I'd love to see him get into that attacking rhythm. Another guy that I want to talk to you about is TJ Perenara. Obviously, he's been away from this All Blacks environment for a year now. He went over to Japan. He's been playing rugby over, obviously, with Docomo over in Japan, and now he's come back to club rugby with Norths in Wellington. The intensity shift from sort of club footy into the cauldron that is Bledisloe Cup, how's he going to find that, do you think, Suey?
He's played 69 tests. He's been there before. He's done it. He's had a sabbatical, not just filling his pockets with mate. He'll be gearing to go, like wanting to. We know how energetic he is. We know what he brings, and no doubt he'll take his opportunity and probably have a really good game this weekend.
I'm sure he's going to be a pest.
And there's also one more change there with Will Jordan getting a start as the wing, and we're joined by Will himself. Kia ora, Will. Thanks for joining us. Now, another game at Eden Park where you're meant to be in Wellington. But is it kind of like a blessing in disguise to be back into the fortress?
Hi Taylor, thanks for having me on tonight. Yeah, I think it's exciting for the boys to be back at Eden Park. They've obviously, had a really strong record there over the last wee while. And while it's a shame that the Wellington Test couldn't go ahead, I know our fans down in Wellington are looking forward to that. And there's also some uncertainty around, whether this might be our last game in New Zealand. The boys are extremely excited to get out there, on home turf again, and hopefully build on our performance from last week and, put a performance out there we can be really proud of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, have you sorted how you're going to fix that last 15 minutes from the first test?
Yeah, we have. We had a really good review on Monday and just talked around some issues that presented itself in that sort of first 20 and probably last 20, and I think some key things we took out of that first 20 was just around our game management. I think obviously the first Bledisloe Test was a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and we're perhaps guilty of just trying to play a little bit too much and trying to probably play a bit too width and didn't go through them. So we've discussed this week around, if there's kicking space available, we can take that, and that's the way we can get ourselves into the game through our D. And in terms of the last 15, 20 minutes, there's been pretty clear messages this week around our discipline and the importance of, not giving them free entries into our 22. So, they're probably the two main things that have popped up during the week.
Kia ora, Will. Are you happy playing wing, or is your dream of specialising at fullback still alive?
Be honest, Will.
Yeah, I guess there's a little bit of both. I think I was counting up before in the 23 this week. We've got about 5 guys who have played a bit of fullback over the last couple of years, which is pretty cool. But no, I mean, I've enjoyed playing fullback for the Crusaders and for Tassie over the last couple of years. But in this environment in the All Blacks, I'm really enjoying the challenge of playing wing, and that's given me some opportunities to get out in the park as well. So, I mean, down the track, it's hard to know where I might fit in. But at the moment, just happy to be on the wing and trying to grow as much here as I can.
Well, I'm keen to get your thoughts, mate, on the Marco's first performance in the Bunnings NPC Cup. What were your thoughts? Did you catch it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was cool to watch them kick off their season last week, and me and Davey and a few of the boys are certainly giving Sammy Kane a bit of stick after they took down the Bay of Plenty, and this week's a huge clash for them up against Auckland. So same sort of thing, with the Ioane brothers. I've been pretty chippy about it with Auckland's winning round one. So all the boys take a really keen interest in the Bunnings Cup, should I say, and it's cool to see that's kicked up, and hopefully Tassie can continue their form they've had over the last couple of years.
Yes, mate. Yeah, and I am really, really looking forward to this weekend, Tasman versus Auckland, back in Tassie and at Trafalgar Park against a rock star like RTS, all those rocket ship backs coming down there to try and take on the premiership winners. Speaking of rock stars, we've got him online. He's finally paid his Wi-Fi bill and he's made it onto the show. That is the man, the myth, the legend, friend of the show, Ashley Lionel Dixon. Mate, you're an inspiration to Hawke's Bay, the Highlanders, the Māori All Blacks. You're the captain of all those teams, and you're saying sayonara to New Zealand rugby. For you, how hard was it sort of walking away from those teams when they mean so much to you?
Hey team, how are we all doing? I finally worked out how to turn the mute off, so we should be all good now. To be honest, Joe, it was actually pretty tough. It was a decision that took a fair bit of thinking, and had to talk to a fair few people beforehand to make sure I was doing the right thing for the right reasons. And really excited by the new challenge that's ahead. But, really stoked with when I actually kind of think about it, what I've done in New Zealand. So I'm pretty happy to be leaving on my own terms and to something different, eh?
Kia ora, Ash. I've got a question for you in regards to your leadership. You're a man of honour, integrity, mana. For all players aspiring to be a leader, what would you say your 3 values are that you live by?
Oh, good question.
It's goody.
Hey, look, to be honest, I don't try emulate anyone or be anyone. I just think just try to be Ash Dixon, try to be me. And the things I guess I try to do is be one of the hardest working. So that's never in question when I guess I question others and challenge them on a few things that, something like that just never gets questioned. The second thing I guess I pride myself on is I try to put myself at their level. I think you've got to have a bit of empathy and understanding with players and people. I guess the comparison between Hawke's Bay and the Highlanders is that you've got two different styles, and the players that you work with are slightly different, but there's such an array of talent spread through both teams. And I guess just trying to unlock that, you've got to understand the player and the person. And I think that's something I've had to learn over a few years, and something that's I think helps myself and what I'm trying to do. And I guess the third thing is just lead by example. Make sure that that we're all in it together, and you want to be playing as well as you can. You've got to justify your selection in the team weekly, I think. And I just try be me really, and just do what I can do.
Ash, brother, I want to ask you this question. You can answer it any way you want, but that All Blacks jersey, was that ever in the back of your mind, and was missing that selection with Colsey when Nomura, and Colsey and Nomura were injured and you didn't get picked? Was that a big factor to why you went overseas, mate? Because I think many a times you should have deserved to be in that team.
Hey, my bro. Hope you're doing well, man. I had a feeling you'd ask me something like this, Daggy. Look, I'm not going to lie and say I wasn't disappointed. I guess it's every childhood's dream to be an All Black, and that's my team, like my favourite team. But it wasn't to be, and I've got no disappointment, no anger towards anybody or New Zealand rugby. I'm so grateful for what I've done and been able to achieve with great people. So for me, I've got no regrets or anything. But would I've loved to wear the black jersey? Yeah, 100% I would have loved to. But at the moment, I guess the decision that I've made for myself and my family is the right one looking forward. And, when I finish my playing days, when I reflect and actually look at the teams I've played for and the people I've met, I'm going to be pretty stoked with how it's all worked out, bro. But, yeah.
Awesome, bro.
Oh, Ash, I know on behalf of, and I speak on behalf of all fans of New Zealand rugby, we thank you so much for your contribution to all forms of the game. You're a champion man. Like you said, you are Ash Dixon. You're no one different. That's why your teammates respect and love you and love having you part of your team. I know you laugh at me, but we do. And you will be sorely missed in these parts. I know every team that you're in, you have such a huge influence on that group. So we wish you really, really well. We wish you, Michaela, Peyton and Bozzy, I'm sure you're going to tear up Tokyo. Well, if you don't, Boston will. But like one of your teammates said in your tributes, make sure that you do the right thing on your flight, okay, mate? I don't want you getting kicked off. Right, yes. Okay, bud?
Hey.
Good on you, bud. Enjoy it. You deserve it.
Flights at 5 a.m. Come on.
You deserve it, bud. You deserve it, bud.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Good on you, mate.
Awesome.
Oh, well, so many games on this week.
Yeah,
Taylor?
plenty of action to look out for. Again, All Blacks taking on the Wallabies. Can they lock up the Bledisloe Cup? I guess we will find out. We'll see you all here next week on Sky Rugby
Yeah!
Club.
It's all over! Ash Dixon, love ya!
Come on, the Bay.
Up, Tassie! Back, one's up!
All right, come on, the Bay!
And it is the answer. for Damien McKenzie. Lolisio, they got a score, so the Wallabies cash in finally. A little kick in, what a beauty it is too, and Banks is going to get a couple.
Yeah, and a proud finish also from the Wallabies.
The great Aaron Smith becomes the 10th All Black to reach 100 Test matches.